Good morning and welcome to the press conference of Tarde, morir, joven, film from Chile, playing in main competition here in Locarno 71. I'm very glad to welcome our guests, starting from the director of the film, Dominga Sotomayor, on my left, and from the main actor, protagonist playing Sophie in the film, Demian Hernández on the far right. And then the producer of the film, Dominga, and the co-producers, Sophie Mas and diretto. So, of course, if you have questions, please just please start here. Let's wait for the microphone.
¿En español o en francés?
Español.
Para ti, sí. La última escena, muchas gracias por el film, me gustó mucho y una actuación extraordinaria, gracias. La última escena, el incendio, significa en tu concepción de realizadora el fin de una etapa, el fin de una utopía o el recomienzo de algo nuevo, distinto, y la última escena de Sofía completamente mojada es también el signo de una fuego-agua, de una depuración conceptual, vivencial. ¿Cómo lo viviste vos? ¿O cómo lo sentiste vos?
Bueno, yo creo que tiene un poco que ver con todo lo que dices. Para mí el punto de partida de esta película era el fuego.
Un attimo. We need you to reply in English because we don't have the Spanish translation. So if you reply in English, then they will be able also to translate in Italian and French. Otherwise,
no problem.
Okay.
So I was saying that in a way it's all about what you said. The starting point for me for this film was a forest fire. So I think there's something mysterious in the fire itself that is make visible some invisible movements. So there was a real forest fire when I was little in a community that's similar to this that portrays the film. And that forest fire was the starting point for me. I don't know, I don't have like a clear message about it, but I think the ending, I like to see it as a new beginning and also like a catastrophe, but a catastrophe that makes everything in order again. It's like an inverted catastrophe in a way.
Chiedo scusa la faccia in italiano. E la cosa che volevo... Intanto complimenti per il film. E la cosa che mi ha fatto dire sorridere nel film è proprio l'inizio e la fine, quel cane che corre. All'inizio corre per inseguire il suo proprietario e alla fine per seguire la libertà. Ecco, era questo che voleva intendere, perché più degli uomini probabilmente sono nel film parlano i luoghi e gli animali. Non so se sto sbagliando strano.
Yeah, I can take this out. In a way, I wanted to erase the borders between human nature, animals, and for me, the film has to do with, in a way, questioning the property of land, property of like animals, property between people. So I think the dog, the starting at the end with the dog has to do with this, in a way, like nothing belongs to anyone and the dog runs by itself. I think the film for me it was very important, this game between interior, exterior, that like there are just no borders, and feminine, masculine, past, present, nature, human. I wanted to play with this like no limits.
your own childhood, but it's also a specific time which is not explained in the film, but there is, of course, we are not nowadays. There's a feeling of certain nostalgia of certain time gone, but it's a very specific time for Chile.
Yeah. So the starting point of is very like concrete year. Is a summer of in December '89, when Pinochet was kicked out from. Then in March, the first democratic president starts. So December is summer in Chile. So we moved to this community in December, and this summer was really particular. It was like a transition itself between December and March. We were like waiting for the democracy to start. So the film, for me, this is the starting point. This very specific summer. But I wanted to take out all the like political or really like specific reference of the period to make like more like a timeless film. Because I think it could be also now. It could be like whatever. And I think it has to do with my first film also. Like this look of a kind of a past that, of course, we cannot come back. There's like a nostalgia of a time that changed, but it could be like in the 80s or in the 90s or like 10 years ago.
And that kind of community and that kind of political spirit of sharing something that you see in the film, you think it was something connected to the specific moment in Chile at that time? Is a place that still exists, people are still living like that, or is something that you have to reconstruct because it disappeared in the meanwhile?
So the community, when it started in the '89, it was a very small place, far away from the city. So my parents moved there with other 10 families. There were no fences between the houses. There were not electricity or phones. It was really like extreme. And I lived all the transformation of this place. Now it's like 400 houses and it's a bit more posh even. And there's a lot of contradictions and problems with the people from that place now because there are other people arriving. So I decided I wanted to shoot in the same place, but we have to reconstruct it and we have to move like closer to the mountain to find places that looks like was before.
You gentrify the place
yes.
yourself. Demian, for you, is this a first acting experience? And if you can tell us something about entering this world that we realize it's very personal for Dominga, but reading your statement and also other statements by other actors in the press book, I can tell that this became a very personal moment also for you in terms of taking part in this film.
Hello, thanks for the question. The acting it was a challenge because I didn't read the script until the last day in the party of end of shooting. It was I knew who was Sofia, how she felt her life and how she interacts with other characters, but I didn't write the script.
But because Dominga didn't give it to you, or because she gave you and you avoided reading it?
She avoided me to read it. It was a technique. It was a technique of directing for all the children in the movie. And it was, I was always very aware and in the moment and in present because I didn't knew how to grab the soul of Sofia. So I had to take on myself to connect with my 14-year-old self to bring this on camera. For me it was a challenge. It was a little bit hard sometimes, but at the end it gave me the opportunity to connect myself with emotions and moments and things in my life, like my 14-year-old self, to like feel again about how I felt at that age and to see it with other eyes. It was a beautiful experience for me, not only in the acting thing, but personally it gave me another direction of like feeling.
I wanted to ask Dominga how you came up actually with the casting thing and how you cast some of the other younger characters, because it has an autobiographical feel, so there's a special way that you cast them.
So usually I don't like to make castings. So what we did is I worked with my mother, she's an actress and cast director, and she helped me to find people through people we know, and we were like basically with the kids. Like I really wanted to work with people without any experience before, so we were asking friends, we were looking in the same community for people that were living there. So asking and asking, we end up with a group of 10 people maybe, or 14 kids, and we invite them to a workshop for a week. I wanted to make something inclusive, that nobody could not be selected. So we make like a workshop with them, and within the group, I picked the main characters, and the other ones were invited to be the secondary characters. So they're also friends. For instance, Lucas and his friends, they're friends in real life, and almost all the kids are living now in the real community. Demian doesn't, but Demian, the girlfriend of my brother knew Demian, so it was like everything very spontaneous.
Regista una cosa. Quanto era importante il corpo della protagonista, perché è l'unico corpo che si vede ed è interessante, mentre tutto quel mondo vestito abbiamo questa Eva praticamente che percorre il film.
In a way, I think body at this age is very vulnerable. Vulnerable? Is it? For me, it was very important. I don't know how to describe, but I think in a way, all this exposure with the older guy was very. It was, since the script, it was very precise how her body should be, like in a process of transformation, still not a woman, still it's not a girl. So I always wanted to portray these characters who are like in a transition from some stage to another one. And yeah, I think it was very important. And also when I was thinking in the character, I wasn't thinking in someone like Demian at the beginning. Then when I met her, I realized there was something very complex like happening and very interesting, and I was really looking for kids that in a way had lived a lot. And you can see in all these characters, for me all the casting, these kids were like much more experienced in a way than me, and I was like learning a lot of them on their freedom, on their like open mind. So I don't know. I was very convinced since I met Demian that there was something also like ambiguous, also talking about the non-definitions that attract me.
Dominga, in this regard, you have worked on the subject of childhood, and that most of your films they feature some kids and the relation with the parents or with another generation. In this regard, in this path, is this film for you also, referring to what you just said, an ambiguity and an experience of life, also part of the development of this process and interest of yours?
Yeah, I see this film. I don't know if it's a closing piece or like at least like following the line since my short films. I think it's also a continuity of my first feature film. I've been always attracted of this curiosity and natural approach of kids and young people to life, like all these like fears that then you become like used to, more like spontaneous and without prejudice. So yeah, it is, but I think I'm also kind of growing with my film. So if the first one, Thursday till Sunday, is more about this ingenuity of kids and this kind of distance look of the parents' world. In this case, I wanted to tackle a more like teenager and complex, with more layers of what is becoming an adult, and all this nostalgia like, about growing up. And also the film itself, I think I was trying to go against my own rules. So it was very challenging to make a collective film where the goal was kind of portrayed as collective status of mind rather than just one character in the center.
In the title there are two words you use. One is nostalgia, and I think it's very clear. And one is more mysterious, is the mystification of this time. And that's maybe something that we can talk about because I think it's less obvious in the film, less evident. What you mean with that?
So, yeah, because I think in a way these people wanted to create like a perfect world, but they're humans. So for me also living in the community, I was quite disappointed of how it develops. So at the beginning, all was about be generous, be free, everything belonged to anyone. And at the end, also in the film, with the lack of water, they are like shitting themselves. And I think this community is like a world in a little scale. So they are in this self-exile, confronted with the human nature and this kind of betrayal.
The microphone now.
For a big town, what city? Is it Santiago or Buenos Aires?
It's Santiago.
Santiago.
Yes. So this community started in the outskirts of Santiago, just below the Andes. And it used to be like 40 minutes from the city, but now the city was growing, so it's more like inside the city.
Una domanda sulle musiche, le canzoni, perché le canzoni occupano diversi spazi e allora volevo capire appunto l'importanza che dava a queste canzoni e ai testi quanto devono essere importanti per narrare il film. Ci parli delle musiche?
Yeah, for me music is always important. I think also the emotions are very contained in my work, and I like to use the music as a way of exploring these like deep feelings. And so I don't know, it's a very musical film. It has the songs that they're playing. It's also talk about a period in Chile. It was a very eclectic moment. I was also like reading a lot of this period on the music while we had this music coming from the dictatorship, all this popular Chilean music that was trying to fight for the rights. It was really like one. So the beginning of the film is invaded for this like popular protest music, and then it turns into an English like. So I was thinking about it, a lot about that. And what else?
Can I say something?
Yes.
I think that in my role as an actor, it's very important the music because I'm a music student, and Antar, that he played Lucas, he loves music too. We played our music in the film, and it's a way to connect with the characters too. I really love to sing, but I never sing in public before the shooting of the scene that plays accordion and sings in the party. So it was one of the hardest scenes for me, and it's very beautiful how, don't knowing who the character is, turning back to what I was talking before, one way to reach my character it was through music.
Yeah, actually the casting was really musical. We were like just playing, and I think what every character listen, it has to do with their goals and their soul. So Sophia is more like in English, she wanted to live, and Lucas is more like, I don't know, in Spanish and with his band. So I don't know, we were playing a lot with them.